welcome back to another Everyday Tesla video. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already subscribed, please click on that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Today we have something a little bit different for you. So not exactly Tesla related, but sort of in the same ballpark. We're going to talk today about our new solar system. And I have a presentation that I'm going to go through today with you that I put together and just talk about our solar system and why we decided to go with the company we did and how it's going so far. All right, so let's first talk about the timeline. So we actually had a relatively quick timeline. We signed our contract with SunPower on November 25th, 2020. Quickly, 3 days later, SunPower had a guy come to our house and do a home survey where he took measurements of the roof and inspected the attic. And then on December 8th, 2020, we received our CAD drawings from SunPower showing what our system is going to look like. On January 8th of 2021, we received our Homeowners Association approval. So we live in a neighborhood where it is required that you submit your design to the Homeowners Association, and they have to approve, where the solar panels are going on your house and how they're going to look and all that. And so that was approved. And then on January 13th, 2021, we received our permit approval directly from the county, and that was submitted directly by SunPower. And then, believe it or not, 2 days later after the permit was installed, we had our actual installation of the panels on January 15th. And so really quick time frame there. Let's talk a little bit about why we went with SunPower as opposed to another company like Tesla. So first, we have a local sales rep here who met with us in person and answered all of our questions, which was really great. It was very comforting, and he gave us some good reasons why we should go with SunPower, and we're going to talk about those now. So all SunPower components are designed and manufactured directly by SunPower. So this is really nice when it comes to the warranty. So if anything goes wrong, you have one point of contact and one warranty for everything that's associated with your system. It is a 25-year warranty directly from SunPower, and that includes a very generous 92% power output guarantee in the 25th year. So solar panels do degrade over time to some extent, but our system has a guarantee of 92% in that 25th year, so that's great. SunPower also has 400 watt panels, and so we use a lot of electricity in our house. I'll talk about that in a minute. We have a big roof, and so we wanted to take advantage of that and get as much generation from the sun as we can. So we went with the 400 watt panels. SunPower handles the Illinois SRECs directly. We're going to talk more about SRECs coming up here, but this was really important. They offered a $2,000 rebate off of our system, and it's a very competitive net cost per watt, and we'll talk more about the cost coming up here as well. All right, so Illinois SRECs. So SREC stands for Solar Renewable Energy Credits, and Illinois has a law that requires its utilities to source 25% of their energy from renewable sources by 2025. And so what that means is ComEd, in our case, is providing credits for people who install solar on their roofs. These are distributed in blocks, and we got lucky on this one because as of December 2020, the current block is depleted. This is part of the Illinois Shines program, and the Illinois legislature needs to approve additional funding before this can continue. And so right now there's a wait list for anyone who wants to receive the SRECs, but hopefully by May or so they will approve additional funding, and those will be back in play here in Illinois. All right, so let's talk about the federal tax credit. So recently, the federal tax credit was extended for 2 years. And so for all systems installed this year in 2021, as well as next year, you'll get a 26% tax credit off of your federal taxes. And then it decreases to 22% right now for systems installed in 2023. And again, this is a full tax credit, not a deduction. So you receive that full 26% off of your taxes, which is really a nice perk. Now let's talk about electricity usage. So when you're planning a solar system, one of the first things that you need to do is figure out how much energy you're currently using so that you can figure out the right size system that you need to design and install. So I went back and looked at all of our bills from the past 2 years from ComEd. And over the past 2 years, our electric bill has averaged about $231 per month. And we average about 2,238 kilowatt hours per month. And if you do the math, that works out to 10.58 cents per kilowatt, which is pretty good. Part of the reason for that is that we are enrolled in ComEd's real-time pricing program, so it's hourly pricing, and we pay real-time rates, and those are significantly cheaper during off-peak hours like overnight, so that's nice. Our usage is a lot higher than a normal household. This is mainly due to daily charging of the Tesla car that I own. But we also use a lot of electricity. We have 2 teenagers in the house who are doing school from home right now, and we're home working from home, so that's a lot of energy usage. So let's talk about our system. So I worked with SunPower, and we came up with this system of the picture you see here. So we have 28 panels on our roof, and each of those panels is 400 watts. And so that math works out to 11.2 peak kilowatts for DC current. And when you convert that DC current to AC, it loses some of the power in that translation. And so for us, that works out to 9.772 kilowatts of alternating current coming into the house at peak production. We were able to install our panels on the back side of our house. So the picture you see on this slide is a drawing of our house, and where the panels are is the back side. So that's nice. It's very aesthetic that way. You don't see anything from the front of the house. Not that these panels look bad, they look great. But it just kind of keeps everything on the back, which we liked. The panels are guaranteed to produce 13,137 kilowatt hours per year. That's a minimum. And so if you look at how much energy we use, that's a minimum of 47% of our energy being produced by these solar panels. And so on this slide, it shows a month by month projection of electricity usage and solar production. So you can see in the winter months, obviously not as much solar production. And in the summer months, we have a lot more solar. But we're also using more energy when we run the air conditioning. So we do have some things planned to help with our usage. One is to upgrade our AC unit to a more efficient unit, and so that would allow us to use less electricity moving forward. All right, so the slide that everybody wants to talk about, the cost. And so our final contract price that we worked out with SunPower was $24,988.47. This is paid in 2 payments. One is done right after the installation, and one is done after the energy start date. For us, the Illinois SRECs worked out to $10,851.53. And in our case, that is not included in the final contract price. So one of the really nice things about SunPower, like I said, is that they handle everything with the SRECs up front. And so they assume ownership of those SRECs. And they typically, I've heard they can take up to 6 months to come in, but I don't have to worry about that. The other nice thing is that would be taxable income for me, and I don't have to worry about that either. And so, like I mentioned earlier, there's a $2,000 rebate. And then the federal tax credit is 26% of the total cost of the system. And for this, you can include the SRECs. And so when you do the math, that works out to a $9,318.40 tax credit. So when you put it all together, you take the final contract price minus the rebate minus the federal tax credit. That works out to a net cost for us of $13,670.07. And when you divide by the wattage, we get $1.22 cost per watt, which is incredibly competitive. So when you're looking into solar systems, that's always one of the things that you want to look at when you're comparing costs is the cost per watt and see what that works out to. So now let's take a look at how long it's going to take to pay back this system. So I have 2 different figures here. One is based on 47% energy offset, which is the minimum for us. We expect to get at least that much solar production from based on how much energy we use. And this is all based on our 2020 usage. And the other number I have here is 100% offset. So if we were able to reduce our electricity usage quite a bit and depend 100% on the solar that we are creating, that would save us $2,580 a year. and we would pay it back in 5.3 years. If we just do the minimum, it's going to take closer to 10.5 years. In reality, we're probably in the middle between those two. So maybe 7-8 years, somewhere in that range, is what we're expecting to pay back our system. And again, a little note there that these amounts do not include energy price increases, which typically average between 2 and 4% for ComEd. Net metering, I wanted to throw a slide in here about that. So this is something that is available to us. Basically, net metering means when your solar panels are producing more energy than you are currently using in your house, it pushes that excess energy back to the grid, and ComEd gives you a credit for that energy that you are producing and providing back to the grid for other customers to use. And so it ensures that no solar production is wasted, which is really nice, and it helps offset the cost quite a bit. And so ComEd does have the net metering program. They charge $15 a month. There's a fee for that, so that kind of stinks, but that's how it works here. Quick note about battery storage. We did consider adding battery storage to our system. It's very difficult to justify the cost. What batteries do is they power your home during a grid outage, and so they automatically kick on if the power were to go out at the grid and keeps everything powered in your home, which is really great. And the other thing they do is they can store excess power from solar generation to power your home when it's cloudy or at night when the sun's not out. And so that's a benefit as well. We did get a quote for 2 Tesla Powerwalls. They're 13.5 kilowatt hours per battery. And installed after a rebate, it was $16,000. And so right now, it's just really difficult to justify that cost as something that we need, especially because we have net metering. And so for now, that's on hold. I would love to get those at some point in the future, but right now we're going to hold off on that. So the next steps we have, the solar panels are up there. They're on the roof. They're not doing anything yet. So we need an inspection from our local county here. So he will come out and inspect the panels, make sure everything was installed properly. And then when that is approved, a request will be sent to ComEd for interconnection. And when that is received and approved, they will give me permission to operate. And I'll be able to go outside and flip the switch and turn everything on. Quick note about referrals here. Just wanted to mention this, that there is a referral program with the company that I worked with. My guy was great, and so I'd be referring you directly to him. And I'm personally paying $100 to any successful referrals. So if you use me as a referral and you get your system installed, I will pay you $100. So that's another $100 you can take off the net cost of your system. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll keep you updated as we go with progress and let you know how much energy we're getting out of those solar panels. If you have any questions about solar, please feel free to email me or leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you right away. And if you're thinking about doing solar yourself, please reach out to me. Again, I'm paying $100 for every referral. If you want to start that process, just shoot me an email. It's jason@jasonhutchinson.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.